Right then, welcome back, and today, yes, attempt numero dos at the Laguna Seca 8 hour. Now last time we used the Aprilia and that was an absolute cluster, so if you can't beat them, join them. We're going to go with that, the very blue and very red Suzuki GSX-R1000R. Now, having tried this once and failed completely, I kind of knew where we were. We needed to run long stints. Now the Aprilia wasn't great. It didn't do actually stints that were that long. There's the setup just flicking through as well. Look at the graduated gears. So to get acceleration without losing the top speed, obviously less revs equals less fuel. There's method in the madness. Yeah, we needed long stints, about 50 laps a stint, to be able to get in front of the AI riders and not be at the mercy of their quicker pace and trying to keep up with them and flicking around with fuel maps and bits and bobs. So I had a plan, and a plan is very important in the longer races, and I was all set to sit on a Friday afternoon, Friday evening, turn into Saturday morning, and then the AI did that. The autopilot clicks off, the bike wheelies, and I'm in the gravel on the first corner. And then just to compound my misery on the first lap, I had the engine braking settings wrong. This should be on engine braking 2, not 1. And we're in the gravel again. And it took 8 laps. 8 laps to catch up to the back of the pack. And they were not mucking about. They were not there just for show. They did not want to let me past. If I went inside, they'd move. If I went outside, they'd move. There is a very good example later on down into the first corner of the AI being absolute arses. And yeah, I did not finish this until 3:45 on Saturday morning. The weekend just gone. I was a tired boy. No Red Bull or Monster was consumed. I did it sans energy drinks. This one's a little bit naughty. I mean, I had the inside line. He should really have just yielded, but they don't do that. We know they don't do that. But yeah, as you can see, the AI are not interested in just letting me just breeze through, excuse me, and just get to the front and do what I need to do. The important thing to keep an eye on, gap to leader, already 12 seconds. We're 9 laps in, 12 minutes, and I'm 12 seconds behind. So I mean, that's just karma, isn't it, for what I did at the first corner. So again, it was like, right, get back on, and we'll see if we can hold them out of the corkscrew. Little bit of a Valentino Rossi move there, just forcing them onto the gravel on the inside. And we're away and running. And it was a long race. I mean, there was incidents galore. I was making a mess of it. No matter what I did, I just didn't seem to be able to like put a decent lap together, to work it out, to do X to Y to Z. And it took a little while to settle down on the anti-wheelie settings, to settle down on the engine braking settings. I wasn't running traction at all. I was anticipating rain at the end of the race because the first time we did it, it rained. But I mean, we are half an hour in. I'm in 8th, and I'm still 11 seconds behind. We've done 22 laps. The key thing is fuel. I've used 60% fuel. Sorry, I've used 40% fuel. They've used 60. So there's like a 2/3 fuel usage on my part. I mean, the best part of an hour in, and we finally catch up to the leader because the leader's gone in the pits. So the gap to second, well, to what will be the second place rider, is about 30 seconds. Now, pit entry to pit exit is about a minute because the pit lane is absolutely twatting ridiculous at Laguna Seca. I mean, we've done 38 laps there. We're still not going to pit in. It's just not going to happen. And we just go and go and go and run. I mean, we're an hour and 5 minutes in. I think, you know what? I better pit in. The front tyre's not feeling great. I went with a medium front for the first stint, and I realised it was a mistake. What I needed was a hard front, hard rear, eco setting on the power, and just go. But look at the length of time on this pit stop. Not only that, I'm on a Suzuki, And look at the hats that the fuel man's wearing. Yeah, no team allegiance there, obviously. But if you look on the map, bottom left-hand side, you can see the number 1. The leader's just gone past the pit entry, so they assume first place. And we entered the pits, what, 6:50, I don't know, 6:56 and a handful of seconds left. So it's a full minute from entry to exit. We've gone full gas again, hard front, hard rear, and I mean, that's not bad. I don't mind that. An hour and 5 minutes for one pit stop, I'll take that. The stints were long. Remembering to stop the recording, because you can only get 60 minutes recording on the Xbox on the hard drive, and it's just, there was a lot of things going off, and at 2:30, 3:30 in the morning, my brain wasn't quite working properly. But first pit stop's done. We were 11 seconds behind the leader, we're now 13.4. However, that should hopefully come down quite quickly. 47 laps done. And again, the AI, they weren't up for making it easy, just not wanting to like let you past. You stick it up the inside and they would just let the brakes off. But look at the different lines. I like to run really like wide sweeping, I suppose you call them 250 style lines, and they seem to run a lot narrower because they're running performance mode on the gas, whereas I'm running eco, so they're just getting on the gas and walking away from me. There's a double overtake, attempt to double overtake into the last corner in a little while. Yeah, and it just, I thought I was being very clever, but apparently not. I mean, we've gone from what, 48, 47 laps in the pits, now 62 laps, an hour and a half in, and we're still in 4th. Yes, look at the gap to the leader though, we're down to 3.6 seconds. So progress has been made. Here's the double overtake I was talking about. I thought I'd been dead clever and pulled this one off. And he just let the brakes off, just ran it on the wide line, and then now you'll see the difference between performance and economy mode. Yeah, see you. And you do that out of every corner, and that's how you end up 1.2 something seconds faster a lap. I thought I'd go around the outside. He went inside, then he went outside, and that's what I mean by they're not really interested in racing. They just want to stop you getting past, and it can be quite frustrating sometimes. But after the abject misery that was doing this on the Aprilia, it was not too bad. It was more of a game of patience. And I know that sounds daft, it's an endurance race causing a game of patience, but there's this incessant need to get to the front of the race. So it took 63 laps and the best part of 90 minutes to get to second place with not too bad of a gap to the leader. Out the corkscrew, lap 69, everyone's favourite lap, and the leader up front, the American rider, has got 7% fuel left. Now, fuel usage on eco, about 1.3, 1.4% per lap. So with 7% left, you could probably eke another 3-4 laps out of that. I was that taken aback that I'd taken the lead and not in the middle of some weird pit stop cycle that I almost crashed into the wall. We've still got 60% fuel left and they're pitting. The plan is to run long and get a pit stop in front, so that by the time I come out the pits, they pit, and they pit again before I go back in. So lap 100, we've run the fuel down to 4%. I didn't really want to go any further than that. The last thing I want to do is run out. And we just go with the same, it's the same setup. We go hard front, hard rear, we go full tank of gas, we plough out the pits, and hopefully we will stay in the lead, because we had like a minute and something lead. So yeah, there you go. And by the time it all balances out, I think it goes back down to something like 12 seconds. So I mean, what's that? 2 hours, 20 minutes and 101 laps. Dear me. And that's just to get into the lead. Now I just had to grind out 50 laps at a time between pit stops and just remember to just keep recording and doing everything else. So 3 hours in, we've got the best part of a minute lead. They're all going to be pitting again. I've still got 48% fuel. They're down to 17, 35, etc, etc. The American rider seems to have dropped off the front for some strange reason, where they're fourth now. So yeah, I mean, the other British rider, Cody Murray, seemed to be the strongest pace, but they're a minute behind. So again, the gap just kept getting bigger. I wasn't pushing particularly hard. I haven't been on the leaderboards and looked at what a 121.3 does on an endurance bike. It was just a case of just keep going. There was a point about 11, 12 o'clock race time where the tyres just got very cold, and I just did something stupid at the end, but we'll get to that in a minute. But again, yeah, just going through halfway, 1 minute 10 lead. We've got loads and loads of gas and tyres left. We've only got half a second of penalties. That's me doing stupid stuff up over the corkscrew, not stopping the bike in time. But I mean, look at the absolute smorgasbord of fuel levels in there. We've got from 90% right down to sort of like 8-9%. The AI were all over the shop. They were still playing the games. They were not willing to let you past without being arseholes. So 5 hours in, I'm on the inside line, lets the brakes off and just turns across, and he's into the fence, and I'm doing somersaults off the front of the bike. So there was stupid stuff like that going on. But again, it was like, we'll get back on, don't worry about it, steer clear of the AI. And I did seem to spend a lot of the race running around by myself. Now, for the absolute maniacs amongst you, I'm going to upload the full, well, I have uploaded it, it's processing now, the full 8-hour version. So 8 hours, 4K, start to finish non-stop. So all you nutters that enjoy endurance races, fill your boots on that one. I think the last time I did that, about 5 people watched it, so it was well worth the effort. But an hour left, we've gone through 300 laps, and the target, does anyone remember the target from last time? No, nobody remembers the target from last time. 339 is what I did. So, to justify me changing bikes and proving that I would have won it if I was on a GSX-R, I've got to beat 340 laps, because that's what the AI did. Because then it arseholed me at the end, didn't it? On the final standings, it moved from 4th into last. But yeah, so I've got to do more than 340. That was my target, and we got to 342. Have a look at the time. We're running down. I've got 10 seconds left. I'm miles in front of everyone else. Lapped everybody at least once, and I thought I've got 6% fuel left, 8% on tyres, I'll just squeak across the line, and I did this. I went across the line with 1 second left. Well done, dickhead. That's what you get for playing computer games at 3:30 in the morning when your brain's falling out your arse. So I had to go round again. I had to do another lap. Yes, I'm not going to get lapped, I appreciate that, but it added another 1 minute and however many seconds onto the misery that was trying to finish this. Wearing headphones, middle of the night, trying not to make loads of noise because my wife's in sleep and she's lost her shit because I decided to do an endurance race on a Friday afternoon when she's been working away from home all week. But hey ho, it's easier to ask forgiveness than permission, just remember that. But yeah, it's what it is. 343 laps, just over, 8 hours, 1 minute and a handful of seconds. We've used all the fuel, all the tyres on the last stint, and it's done. And I felt quite hollow that no one was up to see my little personal victory. Not even the dog. Even the dog was upstairs with Mrs Moto, so there you go. But yes, we won by over a lap from second place. We lapped the tail enders God knows how many times, and we earned a lot of dollars. 3,300,000 worth of credits for some strange reason, and it's done. So there's what, 2 12 hours and a 24-hour left to do. Yeah, oh well, I guess I better crack on. Thanks for watching, thanks for commenting, thanks for subscribing. I really appreciate you all, absolute heroes and heroesses, and fingers crossed I will see you next time. Take care, stay safe, peace.